Hey everyone, welcome back to Patriot Ridge Farm. So just before I finish up my chores this evening, sun's down below the hills there, there's some moon back there somewhere. I just wanted to touch on something here. Now, hear me out. So I know a lot of folks don't like to hear any kind of emergency preparedness. A lot of folks kind of deterred by anything that even dwells on the prepper sense of stuff. But I want to run a couple of things by you here. So first and foremost, look at what's going on around the world right now as the nasty little thing starts to make its little resurgence, or at least they say that it is. And look at the lockdowns. Victoria, Australia is a good example of that, where they just put another set of lockdowns on their citizens and stuff. And I mean, you didn't leave your home unless you were authorized to go to work. You were only allowed outside of your house for 2 hours a day for exercise. School was not going to happen unless it was completely authorized. So that kind of stuff is tyranny in action, and it's right under our noses. Now, I know we don't live in Australia. At one time I had some subscribers on here who did, and just to let you guys know, if you're still on here and you see this video, God bless you all, and we're standing here praying for you and hoping y'all get out of that tyranny. And man, all I gotta say is vote better, because we're not far behind you. Look at what's going on with the southern border. It's essentially, it's an invasion, and you can't call it anything else. That is not immigration. That is not how immigration was meant to happen. That is not how our ancestors immigrated. Our ancestors come across the ocean on boats to Ellis Island, and they done it legally to start a new life. These people, and if you look, like they say, it's not just from South America, Central America, and Mexico. These people are coming from all over the world. There's Chinese nationalists, there's people from Africa, there's people from all over the world coming across our southern border. And it's pretty much unchecked at this point. Even the Border Patrol has said that they have no control of it. They have no control of the border whatsoever. Just a good example of that, these sanctuary cities, look at what just happened in New York. Even the New York liberals are standing against their own elected people, the people who are allowing this to happen. Their own mayor said this will destroy New York. AOC and the others who got out there the other day, the people were pretty much holding their feet to the fire about what's going on and what they're allowing to happen. They can't sustain that. They know it. They even admit it at this point. The governor of New Mexico putting a ban on the Second Amendment, and I think it was Albuquerque if I'm not mistaken. She banned the Second Amendment, or tried to, and even said that our rights are not guaranteed under our Constitution, and that their rights are not guaranteed under New Mexico's Constitution, that she has, and I'll say, special powers that are given to her in times of emergency. So she's creating an emergency to enact special powers. Now, thankfully, the sheriffs and state attorney general said, we're not enforcing this. You can't do this. Even some other Democrats come forward and was like, hey, bad. So, and if you look at the influx of people coming across our southern border, again, they're unchecked. They're not going to show up to their court dates. You know, they're not going to turn around and go, yeah, okay, well, I had a nice day, I'm going to go back, type of thing. And these people are showing up in droves, and they're showing up in trains, they're showing up in buses, they're showing up in caravans. And they've all got, and these people are so desperate, they've got nice fancy smartphones. They're talking on the phones all the time. They're surfing the internet. They're texting back and forth. I don't know what kind of stuff that they're dealing with, but I know people who can't afford a good cell phone anymore. Oop, I set that there. And they are quite expensive, but they are useful, obviously. Our healthcare system. Now, I speak from experience with this, and I have firsthand knowledge. Now, I'm not trying to instill fear in anyone, but I want to tell you right now, ever since this started long before 2020 ever came about, but since 2020, it has gotten tenfold worse. There are hospitals now that are 3/4 staffed by traveling nurses. I got nothing against traveling nurses, but people are leaving healthcare. They are paying massive amounts of money for these travelers to come in. I know nurses, RNs, and LPNs that are getting called almost daily. Hey, I got an overtime shift. Come in, I'll pay you overtime, and we'll give you a $1,000 bonus just for showing up for one shift. Sorry, my hands are dirty. Just for showing up for one shift. Now, this has been going on for a long time being years, especially since 2020. I get And I'm settled in my job. I'm not going anywhere. 8 years, I'm done. I retire. I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. I have the blessings of having a remote job now. They can't find people. They can't offer people enough to pay or enough to work, and they are losing out left and right on shifts. I can tell you that there are needs lists, what they refer to as needs lists, that come out every pay period, which is every 2 weeks, that is just listing open shifts, open shifts, open shifts, open shifts. So your healthcare professionals are working understaffed. They're working way too much, and it's creating a dangerous environment. And that's across the spectrum. If you have to go to your local emergency department, I pray to God that you don't experience a true life-threatening emergency, because they are packed wall to wall 24/7. People are using ERs, and they have for years, as doctors' offices, as urgent care centers for non-emergency, non-life-threatening stuff, just simply because of whatever situation that they're in. Excuse me, where it's after hours. And they abuse it, and they have been abusing it for years. So your healthcare system, with the amount of money that they're putting out, they're throwing money at the problem, and it's not fixing the problem. That's not going to be sustainable. We know healthcare costs are just skyrocketing, and have been for a long time. Prescriptions costs are going up. Everything is going up except our standard of living and our wages. Go to the grocery store now. You're going to pay a heck of a lot more for a whole lot less, and it's only getting worse. And there's going to come a time with this current economy and with this inflation that a $10,000 loaf of bread isn't going to be too far of a stretch to even consider. So the reason I bring this up is because of our journey, our search for self-sufficiency, self-reliance. We've grown gardens for years. We've had chickens for years. Now we've just completely increased the amount of chickens that we have, both meat and egg layers. We're starting our own little breeding program to try to develop like the perfect bird for us. I mean, it's not going to be the perfect bird, but it'll be what we would refer to as the perfect bird. Will we ever get there? Who knows? It's not going to happen overnight. We've got pigs. We're breeding our own pigs. We're butchering our own pigs. We're processing our own birds. We just ordered a high tunnel Friday. What we're growing in the garden this year, we hope to double in this high tunnel greenhouse. When it comes down to whatever the catalyst is that sets this off, be it there's been talk, even some of the retired generals have come out, and I know you guys have seen this. If you don't think I'm telling you the truth, you can look it up on YouTube and look at the news clips, who said that the 2024 election will not happen. For whatever reason, whatever may be the linchpin that sets it off, the 2024 election will not happen. That's kind of scary. That's very scary in my book. Now, a lot of people may say, well, you're getting government grants to get your greenhouse and to get your well and everything like that. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. But to do that, we had to put the money up front. We had to pay for the well. Once it met their standards, they reimbursed us. We have to pay for the greenhouse. And I'm going to tell you that the high tunnel greenhouse, the one that we went with, and hopefully you'll see we get it done here in the next month or so once we get it. We didn't go all in, but we went in for something that's going to last, and it's going to give us the product that we want if we're going to make that kind of investment. And I'm going to tell you right now, the well cost us over $10,000. We've been reimbursed for that. The greenhouse, the high tunnel, cost us over $11,000 because we upgraded some things for durability and longer lifespan. So that investment in our future, in our food safety, in our food security, you can't put a price on that. And thank the good Lord that I married a good woman a long time ago who's kept me on a straight and narrow, and she manages the finances and everything like that. And if I pop off with some kind of crazy harebrained idea like starting a farm or a homesteading business or whatever, she keeps me in line and keeps me in check. Not that I'm irresponsible, but I have big dreams, big aspirations. So what I want to just encourage every one of you to do, I'm not putting on a tinfoil hat here, and I'm not trying to instill fear in you, but I'm going to tell you just those couple little things that I talked about. The billions of dollars that's going to Ukraine. They just spent $1 billion and some odd how many billions of dollars they just send to Iran for prisoner exchange, including a bunch of Iranian prisoners that we had. This is unsustainable. They're pumping millions of dollars, billions of dollars into Ukraine. They're giving them arms, they're giving them weaponry, they're giving them everything. We got people going hungry here, just like Oliver Anthony Music says, rich men north of Richmond. Your dollar ain't crap. I won't say it on here. And he's actually right. Your dollar right now is worth about 25 cents in this inflation, this economy. So there's not going to be one new president who's going to fix it. He's not going to fix it. He may get us on the right track, but it's going to take years upon years for us to recover from this stuff. The amount of debt that our children have today, I don't even want to think about. I don't even want to think about. It's not sustainable. The influx of people coming across our southern border is not sustainable. We don't know who these people are. They're coming from all over the globe. Our healthcare system is taking the brunt of it. Our social services are taking the brunt of it. Our health and human services taking the brunt of it. And Americans were taking the brunt of it. So you need to really consider, if you're not, to start. And you don't have to be some kind of National Geographic, preppers, doomsday prepper or anything like that. But you need to be safe in having food security. Get you some dry food, some shelf-stable foods to put aside. Get you some good canned goods. Grow a garden, grow in raised beds, grow in 5-gallon buckets. Whatever you do, preserve what you grow and do what you can to expand more. If you're in a city or in a situation where you can't do any of that, I'm going to tell you better look long and hard at where you're at and looking at finding another place where you can. Because whatever it does come down to, there's going to be two major problems that we're going to have to deal with. And that is people and food. Those are the two things. Now, whether it's our people, somebody else's people, or what. Again, I'm saying this with some urgency because I'm not seeing it get any better anywhere. I'm not going to predict what's going to cause it and what's going to be the catalyst, but I'm going to tell you it's going to happen. We cannot sustain on this course. So please, for the sake of you, for the sake of your family, your loved ones, your children, and for the sake of our future, become self-sufficient. Get as close to it as you can. Minimum 3 months of food security. Make sure you've got water resources. Make sure you've got ways to clean, filter, sterilize, and sanitize water. Our infrastructure is terrible. All it's going to take is a big storm. All it's going to take is one natural disaster, and it's going to wipe people out. It's going to wipe out our infrastructure, our electricity, our water, our natural gas, our roads, everything. You have to be prepared. In my 52 years on this planet, I can't think, and I grew up duck and cover. I grew up in the Cold War. I served in the military during the Cold War and after. And never in my life, and maybe it's just because I'm a daddy now, but never in my life have I felt the urgency to become self-sufficient, self-reliant, and have food safety and security, and by being prepared. So, all right, we're losing light. Even the old bald head ain't going to give you enough light here for reflection. So I'm going to cut this short, finish up my chores real quick, and go in the house, get ready for bed tonight. Get and stay prepared. Stay free. God bless y'all.